Osu is like the first and only rhythm game I've gotten into. Its gameplay is heavily based off of like Elite Beat Agents for the Nintendo DS and its predecessor that I cannot pronounce, so I'm putting the name there. It also has like gameplay elements borrowed from games such as Taiko, but that's in the other game modes, because for this video I'll only be talking about Osu Standard as, well, that's like the main game and is what most people associate with Osu. Released in 2007 by Peppy, it's 12 years old at this point and remains to be an active game with new songs, players, and updates flowing in all the time. It even has an active esports scene with top tier players duking it out for the top tier plays. What pushes people to keep constantly improve at the game? What pushes people to keep sitting there for hours and hours and hours just trying the same song over and over again? And can the skills trained in Osu be applied to other games? To answer this question, and the other ones as well, I'll be bringing on people that have played the game far more than I have. My name's BlanK, and welcome to Os.
Click the circles.
Right, okay. The correct pronunciation is Os, but I'll be calling it Osu for this video because I've called it that for years and I don't think anyone cares. As soon as you boot up Osu, the aim of the game is clear.
Click the circles.
So I played the tutorial to figure out more about the game and
Great job.
yeah, I mean, this tutorial does inform me on how to play the game, but it just seems extremely half-assed and really old. So Osu is simple. You click on the circle when this approach circle meets with a white outline, click and drag your cursor on the ball during sliders, which might reverse if there's like an arrow at the end, and spin like mad during spinners, yeah, who would have guessed, for extra points. And that's really it. It's deceptively simple for how absolutely bonkers it can get, and that's one of the most important parts of rhythm games: simplicity. Simple mechanics give tons of space for players to constantly improve on the game. This keeps the end goal clear: mastery and perfection. But to click the circles, you don't even have to click, or even use a mouse for that matter. Here is what a majority of players use. It is graphics tablet, keyboard, and a pen. Let me explain. So you would use two keys. Well, no, it's default Z and X. So like this, or for me, it's S and D. That's why you can tell. If you look right at my keyboard, that's why the S and D are kind of worn out because I played a lot of Osu. So most players would do this because clicking feels a bit awkward. Like, you can use one key, that's fine as well, but most people don't use just one. And with the graphics tablet, you would, you turn the pen on and whatever, and you draw around here to act as like a cursor, essentially. So a lot of people find that more natural, but for which one is better or worse, there's not really an answer. Well, okay, people will argue about it all day, but just use whatever you like, really. So you may be wondering why you'd need two keys to click the circles. This is because later on, the notes will be stacked on top of each other and you'll have to click so fast that using only one finger isn't fast enough. So two fingers can be used to almost double your clicking speed, and it feels so good to pull off properly once you get the hang of it. I found the pen to be like a bit more natural because I'm basically pointing the pen to where I want it to be on screen. I always knew exactly what area of the tablet will point the cursor to where on the screen. Knowing this is absolutely vital to hit notes that are far away from each other quickly and accurately. But how would a new player even start? Well, Osu is bundled with a few songs that they're alright, but if you want to get new songs, you need to go onto the website and download community-made songs there. Once you feel comfortable in the difficulty level, which is represented by stars, you then try downloading slightly harder and new maps to see if you can do them. This is another big draw of the game. Every single day, loads of new songs are being added, but to keep content to a high standard, only specifically selected songs that are picked by the nominators are easily viewable in the search engine and count towards your global rank. This makes finding quality songs to practice on quite simple, but not perfect. Having to tab out of the game and use your browser to find songs isn't particularly great, especially during multiplayer lobbies. The multiplayer is a great feature as it allows you to easily share songs and play them with your friends, with a multitude of fun and really dumb modes to mess with. If you do not have a song downloaded that your friend wants to play, you'll have to click on the song, and then it opens up your browser, then you might need to log in, and then you click download, and then you wait, and then you click on it, and then it loads for a sec, and then you can play. This inconvenience adds up the more you play O2, but it's fixed by using O2 Direct, as it allows you to download songs within O2 itself. In multiplayer, you literally click and it downloads it. So what's the problem? O2 Direct is locked behind O2 Supporter, which is extremely cheap, so it's fine. Okay, in an ideal world, everyone would have access to O2 Direct, since I feel like it's such an important feature to be locked behind a paywall, but it's a necessary evil to keep the game afloat. Despite this, I still have a deep respect for Pepe, as he's been constantly working on the game for years, and his goal is to make a game that he's proud of, not to be a business or to advertise, as he thinks it detracts from the core experience from O2, which is... that's so genuine. Even things that could be monetized, such as skins, are kept 100% free and community made. Skins completely change the appearance and even audio of the game that's really easy to customize if you follow the online resources. There's tons of extremely high quality pre-made skins that make the game look absolutely stunning, and your skin preference is completely subjective. Except for the default skin, because it displays perfect hits with a 300. When things get heated in higher difficulty songs, the 300s start to stack and obscure the circles, which is just... oh, that's so annoying and dumb, because new players are gonna start complaining, oh, why can't I see the circle, there's too many 300s, when really, that's just one skin. This is why custom skins swap the 300 with a blank image. Okay, having the bad 100s, 50s, and missed notes show up is fine, because it appears far less frequently and is important information. If you like the default skin for how it looks though, which is, completely okay, you can simply remove the 300 in the skin folder to remedy this issue. Having that slight edge is important if you want to increase your global rank. Depending on your performance and the difficulty of a song, you're rewarded performance points, which are abbreviated to PP. I hate that PP is just a normal term in OSU talk, because I've had a few strange looks from people in public that you're like, what, are you talking about PP or something? I'm like, and I can't explain it to people, but whatever. Childish jokes aside, the way that PP is calculated is extremely complex and is always changing to make sure you're rewarded correctly for your skill. PP is added up to a total, and that's what judges where you're placed in the global leaderboards. To prevent grinding and to reward improvement, PP is weighted. Right, let me explain what that means. So let's say you got a new top PP play and you're rewarded with 100 PP. Before it adds 100 PP to your total, every PP play below that would affect your overall less, meaning you wouldn't ever gain exactly 100 PP to your total ever. So the more top plays you make, the less that your lower plays will affect your overall. So to get a better rank, you must outdo yourself constantly to climb the leaderboard. And I absolutely love this! It gives another reason to keep pushing yourself and to break what you thought were the limits. And it is this sense of improvement that kept me playing when I used to be active on OSU every day. Songs that I once thought were impossible became just so easy. You know that feeling, just one more try, one more. And that rush that you feel when you realize that one tap, one miss, one button could ruin your perfect play. All of your practice comes to this. You cannot fail now. You start to sweat, shake, and you can feel your heartbeat. And sometimes you'll even hit the Zen mode where you'll almost zone out and you just let your body play perfectly. And when that's all over and the realization hits you,
oh my god!
That's when the appeal of OSU becomes clear. That feeling of accomplishment is amplified by the ranking system. This number shows you how many people are probably better than you, and seeing that number go down is amazing. And when you look back at some of your first replays, you realize how far you've come. This appeal applies to all rhythm games, I think, but this is the first rhythm game I've gotten proper into. If you need more reason to keep pushing yourself, get a friend to start playing OC. Make a few rivals or something. Compete against each other to see who can get the highest rank, and flex on your friends when you manage to steal that ranking throne from them. This created an obvious gameplay loop for me and Tyler before. We found out that one of us has the higher rank, and then the other one would try and keep playing to beat that rank. This meant that we essentially motivated each other to get better at the game, as we had a very obvious reason for why we wanted to improve. So whilst we were sitting there shit-talking each other and saying how better one of us is and how proud we are, what we actually were doing without even realizing was both of us were improving at the game by a large amount. But what pushes high-level solo players to keep on improving? To answer that, I've brought on my friend Argo. Okay man, what keeps you playing OC?
It's a mix of a lot of things, really. Mainly the fact that since I play CS quite frequently, it keeps my reaction times, on point and shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's like mainly that, but also the fact that, whoop-de-doo, numbers go up, satisfying.
Yeah, like the progression and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What rank are you again right now?
I've almost deteriorated back into 12k, but I think I'm like 11,900 or something like that.
I actually completely forgot you're at 12k. I'm still at like 100k. I'm jealous. Anyway, thanks man.
No worries.
Yeah, training your reaction time would be useful for other games. In fact, that's one of the reasons why certain high-skilled players of other competitive games recommend OC. Like, even Ninja of all people recommended it for aim warm-up before games. Which makes sense since accurate and quick mouse movement is extremely important to almost all esports. There is an argument to be made on whether the 2D gameplay of OSU really improves your performance in 3D shooters such as CSGO, but there's a chance that there's some sort of relation there. What may turn certain people away is a large Japanese and anime influence in the game's graphics and songs. Most songs in OSU are foreign and can be considered weeb, but if that's what turns you away from the game, I highly recommend you give it a shot despite the style maybe not being to your tastes. Like for example, my real life friends basically hate anime, but despite this they found OSU still be a fun time. And if you look for it, there are some non-anime songs in OSU, but I'd be lying to you if I said you could play OSU without listening to at least one weeb song. Personally, I don't care. I don't actually have a music preference. My only criteria is if it sounds good and nothing else. So, should you try OSU? 100%, absolutely. I have never played a game that has felt so rewarding and made me feel so accomplished before in my life. Like, the good thing about OSU is that I used to play RPGs for that sense of progression and improvement, but they're just numbers that go up on a chart. It's just stats. But the thing that makes OSU so interesting to play is that the only thing that's improving here is you, because there's no bullshit matchmaking that you can blame it on. There's no stupid bullshit you can really blame it on. If a map sucks, you just move on, and it's simple as that. You just hit delete. You don't need to blame the game for something. Like that's why I'm not too into competitive shooters, because there's so many different factors that could come in to change what really matters, which is skill. So OSU is just kind of this vacuum where it's just skill and nothing else, and knowing that you can fail at any time really makes it tense. And then when you actually succeed, it's something, but then you gotta improve, so you have to keep playing and playing and playing, and then you get that sense of reward, and then you look back and you notice how far you've come, and that's just amazing. It's such a great game, and I think that might apply to all rhythm games. I'm not sure, I haven't played that many, this is the only one, but there is something about OSU that will just keep me to come back and just try again and again and again and again and again.